welcome to the live stream. And the topic of the live stream is Elon Musk loves showing off his huge wiener. And is it wrong that I'm actually craving a wiener? It's more wrong that I'm a vegetarian craving a wiener, but they do make vegetarian hot dogs. But so, Elon Musk. Everyone in the media right now seems to be attacking Elon Musk, calling him crazy, saying he went off the deep end, that he made up the claims about Trump being in the Epstein list. You know what? It's like I'm not a journalist and I'm trying to more be like a comedian, and that's not working out either. So um, I tried being a scientist. That's also not working out much either. But I feel like maybe I can make a new category of like a dash of science, a dash of math, a dash of politics, a dash of wieners, a dash of whatever um, this is. I feel bad for Rita Pahani. So Rita Pahani is the host of Lefties Losing It. Well, I don't feel that bad for her, and I'll tell you why in a second. But she basically, on her news program, she usually shows a lot of pictures of transgender people and women going crazy. Well, that I agree with Rita Bahani. Like you showing videos of women going crazy, I agree. Women do go crazy. But, and that's a big but, okay? A big, big, big but. And here's the big but, okay? Here is the big but to go along with Elon Musk loves showing off his huge wiener. And this is the but. But women, okay, are not capable of making decisions for themselves when it comes to but when it comes to their mental health. So Rita Pahani, if you are taking women who are going through a mental health crisis and you are using this as a form of entertainment on your show, first off, if a man did that, if I, for example, had done the exact same thing, I would be canceled so fast. It wouldn't even be, I wouldn't even, they would literally come to my house probably and like wrap like a duct tape around my mouth. That's how much I would be canceled. It's a bit of an exaggeration, but it's true. If a man did the same show that you do, where you take crazy women. But first off, I just want to say thank you because, like, someone, a female, is standing up and showing that these women are crazy. Thank you for that. But if I did the same thing, I'd be canceled. I would be totally canceled. Now, do these women need to be exposed? Yes, because they destroy people's lives. They make up horrible rumors about people. They tell lies and they ruin men's life. So, Rita Bahani, you are a savior. You are a godsent in many ways because you are exposing these crazy psycho women that drive men to men, that drive men to go to other men, And Rita Pahani, you have exposed these crazy psycho women and their lies and all of the lives they've destroyed. So Rita Pahani, you are like a beautiful angel sent from heaven who has exposed these crazy women for us. But keep in mind that, and this is proof of how crazy these women are, is that if a man did the exact same show that you do, where you expose the crazy women, the man's show would be canceled. He would be canceled. And I'm not going to blame women for this. I'm actually going to blame men. And this whole video actually was meant to ask a question, actually. It's not blaming anyone. It's actually asking a question. And the question is, have men failed women? And intuitively, and I am a person who is in the men and men category. I'm in the men, right? Men who likes to hang out with men category. And I feel like if a man is in that category, it almost feels intuitively like an automatic yes, we failed women. And it's really sad. But unfortunately, it gets to a point when men simply do not know what to do because men are, if they speak up, they get attacked, right? And if men don't say anything, then it's just as bad, right? So what is the alternative? What is the lesser of two evils, right? What is the lesser of two evils? Should men just put up with the crazy woman behavior and risk getting, something really bad happening to the men because the women are out of their minds? Or should the men just mind their own business, leave the situation, right? And so I guess a lot of men who like to hang out with men, I guess their strategy to survival is you see a crazy woman, you run the other way into the arms of another man, right? And that is kind of the strategy that a lot of men have taken to survive because there are lots of sane men who are like, hey, um, in order for me to survive, I have to run the opposite direction of that crazy psycho woman, right? Because that psycho woman could be the nail in the coffin, right? And so men, this is what has caused so many men to run into the arms of other men and openly, because for many years men did this, but women maybe were not as crazy and they were still tolerable that men could be around. But there comes to a situation when you have women who have just become so crazy, so psychotic, that it is absolutely extremely dangerous for the man to stick around. Okay. And unfortunately, the truth is I think over time, naturally, men have adapted, they've evolved. They've evolved to where they don't need to have be in a relationship with a female in order to feel like like a man, if that makes sense. But that's wrong. And I believe that's wrong because I feel like we have failed women. I feel, in my opinion, like men, we have let women down because I think men need to have a better leadership role, and being a leader doesn't mean running because it's easy. Running is the easy way out. Running is the safest, easiest way out of a situation. You see trouble, you see craziness, you run the other way. That is the strategy of men for years now, even straight men who choose to be single. Believe it, that there are straight men who choose to be single. And so for all of these people try to say, oh, if you're a man who likes men, then that means that there's more lonely women. But no, because there's actually lots of straight men that choose to be single because of how crazy women are, right? Look at it like this way, right? A woman and a man gets into a marriage. Why were prenups created? Prenups were created because of women stealing money unfairly from men. Now, keep in mind that, and the other argument, which I'm very happy to bring the side of women, is that for many years, women were not paid. Women were not given equal place in the workplace, and it's not really fair, right? And so when women get divorced from men, women deserve, their paycheck as well, which I totally agree with, right? But prenups were specifically created so that it's fair, so that there's a fair disbursement of money between both the man and the woman when they get divorced, right? So we have to, in society, we have to come up with a fair way for problems to be solved, right? That doesn't either totally go after women and that doesn't totally go after men, right? I think it's important to have a conversation and a dialogue rather than just shut down and run the other way like typically men do, especially men who like men, like typically like the men who like to run into the arms of men, right? And I think if we can have a conversation and bring these people to light. Now, do I think that it's just showing videos of crazy women going crazy? Do I think that that is going to solve the problem? No, but it's a start. It's definitely a good start because a lot of times women are simply believed. They are believed just on the basis that they are women, which is totally wrong. Because and it's actually sexist to believe a woman that she be just because she's a woman that she's telling the truth because she's a woman. And now, thanks to videos, thanks to cameras, 9 times out of 10, it actually goes to show you that the men were painted as villains. The men were painted as villains, and actually, it was the women that were the actual villains. And so this is a really hard conversation to have. This is not a conversation where men are right or women are wrong or women are right and men are wrong. That's not it the way it is at all. The way it is we need to have an open and honest dialogue and a discussion and be able to solve these problems because I do not have the solution yet to this problem, but I am able to in the problem solving process. There's a process to solving problems, and in the problem solving process, the first step is to identify the problem. So we are moving forward because I am at least trying to identify the problem in society, and I don't have the solution for the problem, but at least I've identified the problem. And the problem is women and men, when it comes to life, are not treated fairly on both sides. Men are not treated fairly, and women are not treated fairly. And the sociopaths and the psychopaths and those people are thriving. Why are those people thriving? They should not be thriving. Okay, there are bad people that are men, and there are bad people that are women, and all the bad people should be lumped together and exposed. Okay, so it's not about, oh, women versus men, men, women, women better, whatever. It's not about that. It's not about that at all. It's actually about taking the bad people from both genders, taking the bad men and taking the bad women. And well, I don't mean putting them together like letting them go off and create like a master race or anything, because imagine if like the bad women and the bad men got together and started reproducing and had, anyways, it would be pretty bad. So, uh, so basically, what I'm saying is we need to come together, men and women, and rather than say, oh, men or women, no, we need to say there are bad men, there are bad women. We need to expose these people in both sides. Now, that's my proposed solution, but I'm not saying that that's the correct solution. That is my proposed solution to this problem. Okay. Now, Rita Pahani, you are like an angel sent from heaven because you don't know how, like, thanks to cameras now, people are starting to see the truth because there are such nice, sweet people. There are nice men and nice women who have been slandered and defamed and who have been tortured and who have been bullied. And these nice people on both sides, men and women, because of the corrupt media, because of the corrupt political system, because of the abusers, the sociopaths, the psychopaths. And there are lying sociopaths on both sides. There's lying sociopaths that are men, and there's also lying sociopaths that are women. And so we have to take all the sociopaths, male or female, and expose these liars, expose these people, because they have totally destroyed people's lives. They have destroyed men's lives, they have destroyed women's lives. So it's not a gender war. It's a war against the sociopaths. Really, that's my interpretation. That is how I would frame the problem. It looks on the outside like it has been a gender war, and that's what caused so much confusion. It was so confusing because for years it seemed as if it was a gender war, like it was men versus women versus men. Men should be believed or women should be believed, right? And when you're a man who's constantly becoming the victim of women, I could see why men would take that attitude. And if you're a woman constantly becoming the victim of men, I could see why women would take also that cynical attitude, right? So we need to step back as a society And we need to say it's not men, it's not women, it's not men versus women. It is we have to expose the bad people. We have to expose the sociopaths that are men and that are women. And these people are thriving in this current economy, in this current political system. The female sociopaths, the female bullies, and the male bullies and the male sociopaths, the evil rich elites, they are the ones who are thriving and they are controlling our planet. When what's really sad is who's really suffering also is Mother Earth, because these rich elites, right? These rich elites, men and women, think they can get away with because of their money and power and status from polluting the planet. Okay, they are polluting the planet. A lot of these big companies, these run by these evil rich billionaires, they're polluting the Mother Earth, they're polluting the planet, they're polluting the water, they're polluting the environment, they're polluting the air that we breathe. So we especially need to come together in defense also of Mother Earth, right? Um, and so yeah, so Rita Pahani, like you, this video today, this live stream was meant as like a thank you to you, even though your typical style is not so gushy and your style is not so lovey-dovey. Your style is like more like straight edge comedy, like really edgy comedy, kind of like jokes and stuff like that. And so that's kind of why that I did the wiener thing. I put the wiener as part of like a homage to you. I put the giant wiener, and then I put also the tagline Elon Musk loves showing off his wiener because, your show is so funny. And if I could just do something to even emulate how funny your show is. And also a thank you at the same time for showing all these crazy women and how they've destroyed lives. Like you showing videos of women going crazy and saying crazy things and telling crazy lies, and these lies destroy men's life and women's lives. That is amazing. And also, you also show the crazy men because there are crazy men, and you show the crazy men who destroy women's lives and who destroy men's lives. So it might not come off so obvious when people watch your show, right? And that also could be adjusted a little bit. But at the end of the day, I think a lot of people are starting to wake up to the fact that there's crazy people on both sides. There's crazy men, there's crazy women, there's crazy rich elites. And these rich elites think they can get away with doing all of this screwed up stuff. So Rita Pahani, you're really a pioneer, right, in the media, and you do a show that I have never seen anything like your show. I have never seen any other news program like your program. You really delve in to the insanity that's out there because you show the videos right in a very different way. Those same videos on your show were probably taken out of context and shown on another TV program like MSNBC, and suddenly now those women are portrayed to be like victims and men and victims, right? And so it's amazing how you have taken these videos and you've really exposed the sociopaths. You've exposed the male sociopaths, you've exposed the female sociopaths, while otherwise the other agencies might just take the women at face value, which is totally wrong, right? Especially if it's like a man versus a woman, and many times that's what happens. Unfortunately, a lot of times, women are taken at face value, and also vice versa with men, because rich men who have access to lawyers like Elon Musk, rich men also are taken a lot of times at face value over the word of women, right? Just because a man is rich and rich elite and he has money for lawyers, it's really sad that a woman maybe had a bad interaction. For example, I'm not saying it happened. Well, there was a case with Amber Heard. Amber Heard did make some allegation against Elon Musk, but I'm just gonna use him as an example. I'm not saying it actually happened. I don't even know. Like, I'm not an expert. I don't know everything about Elon Musk. I don't know how big his wiener is for real. But I'm assuming he does. I'm assuming he has no problem with people thinking he has a huge wiener. I'm sure he doesn't want to come and refute that claim. Unless he does, Unless Elon Musk is suddenly going to come out tomorrow in the media and start shouting off the rooftops that people lied about him having a huge wiener and actually. Okay, so, anyways, I'm pretty sure Elon Musk is not going to tomorrow go on the rooftops and accuse the media of lying about him having a huge wiener. So let's all just pretend, let's all go to our happy place and let's all live in a land where Elon Musk does have a really huge wiener. And I don't know why, but I'm craving a hot dog. I know that sounds wrong, but I'm a vegetarian. That's even more wrong, but I'm craving a hot dog. But, anyways, there are vegetarian hot dogs. But basically, what I'm saying is that Elon Musk, let's use him as an example. Let's use Elon Musk as an example, and let's say there was a woman or several women or groups of women at the same time. Maybe Elon Musk had a date with 8 women at the same time, kind of like The Bachelor, kind of like the Bachelor TV series. But I just would imagine that if Elon Musk was the Bachelor, that rather than choosing one woman at the end, that he'd probably choose 20 to go home with. So let's say Elon Musk had a weekend with 20 women, right? And 20 women have a grievance towards Elon Musk. Hypothetical situation. I'm sure those 20 women probably don't have as much money to spend on lawyers that Elon Musk has. And those women could very well have been the victims in the situation, but because they don't have the money to hire lawyers and private investigators, and Elon Musk has all the money to hire lawyers and private investigators, he wins the scenario constantly, all the time. Elon Musk wins and wins and wins. And that is wrong. That is wrong because the right person, the right people should win. The victims should win. The victims should win, not the sociopaths, not the evil rich elites. Being a super rich elite should not give you a free pass to be evil. Now, that being said, Elon Musk has many great qualities to him. And like I said, it was just a hypothetical example. And of course, Elon Musk is definitely not the worst billionaire. We know who the worst billionaire is. And so that is a great compliment to Elon Musk. But there needs to be some sort of watch person. There needs to be watchmen. There needs to be people like a committee, or for example, who actually supervises these billionaires. Because right now, these billionaires get away with everything because they're rich elites. And there needs to be some sort of powerful group of people a committee that can get together and that can actually discipline billionaires and rich elites. Because right now, the rich elites, all they have to do is bribe the police. All the rich elites have to do, like Elon Musk, for example, just an example, is bribe the police, and they get away with everything just because they're rich elites. So we need to come together and maybe form a committee or something, and form a task force that can supervise and that can monitor and that can discipline rich elites if need be, if needed be. And so that's basically what is a good solution, a suggested solution. Obviously, like I said, I mean, I don't know for sure if these solutions are right. I'm just proposing these solutions, right? But the point is to start a conversation, is to start a dialogue. We can all come together and we can all talk about this and discuss this. And again, Lefties Losing It is a great TV program. I love the news program. It's so funny. I kind of watch the episodes every day religiously now. Although I'm not religious, but I watch the episodes of Lefties Losing It religiously. So, anyways, let's end off by saying Elon Musk loves showing off his huge wiener.